Good evening to you all. Sorry, I'm not going to use this. Old age, we don't use some of these things. We believe in our voices. First and foremost, my name is Mandla Zwane. I'm a pensioner. I retired last year. I'm doing this for free. And even the bank that I work for, they don't pay my petrol fees, and so I travel and so at my own expense. Thank you. This program, and so what really happened with this program is that 2 years ago, one of my direct reports requested to get into this program from NetBank. And at first I refused. I said, but this is wasting my time. And what about the bottom line? This bottom line is looking at making money and all that. And so my boss and so need money. How's this going to actually, how's this going to support our bottom line? No, but she persuaded me, I agreed. She went on a program. And she brought the school into the bank. I spoke to them. But I was persuaded, and so before I left the bank last year, I was persuaded by my colleagues, please, man, go into this. I was still reluctant. But I said, what's in it? And so, but what am I going to be doing at home as a pensioner? Do I wake up in the morning, go around rounding my house, looking at the sun, rising this side, setting that side? Then I decided, no, let me go and do it. But I didn't know what I was really getting into. I've been working with schools and so for quite a number of years, but what I was getting into was something else. My partner, Dumiso, Savantika, I was supposed to be in another school. Then the partner did not turn up. Then we went to Dumiso. Well, yeah. Dumiso was called, and so the last minute. And so, when I went to this school, and so Menzi primary school, it's in the middle of an informal settlement. It's something else. It's not something that you like to actually see. It's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible school. I'll never actually work there. I'll never actually work there, no. I mean, the whole thing is actually depressing. So when you walk in, you're depressed. So, like walking to Home Affairs. So, when you walk into Home Affairs, there's papers, it's dirty. So that's how the school, I mean, the school is like a war zone, eh? You haven't been to some of the parts of Africa, South Sudan? If you've been to South Sudan in Juba, I mean, there's a hotel in Juba, it's called the Grand Hotel, it's 5-star. It's prefab. The shower is leaking. It's a 5-star hotel. So when I walked into this school, and so I thought, oh shit, I'm back in sorry. I'm back into Juba. Oh, okay. Sure. But it's a terrible, terrible school, when you look at it. If you look at the ratio of teachers, it's 60 to 1. It's 60 to 1. It's terrible, terrible. I mean, the kids sit right next to the board. And that's horrible teaching that we have in this country. And I looked at Ndumis, I said, but how does he make it? Huh? How does this man actually make it in this place? But he's a different person. I'll tell you about him. He has this thing, and so he has this personality. You know, previously they used to actually say teaching was a calling. Then I can confirm that. I can confirm that Ndumiso has a calling in this profession. He did not just go into it and so because there was no other jobs, but he's got a calling. The environment, I mean, the environment is terrible. You will see one of the pictures there that were myself and Savantika. It was raining another day. Our cars were stuck in the mud right in the middle of school. We couldn't get out, and so we had umbrellas. And so. But what we've learned and so from PFP is quite a lot of things, and so that I can actually talk about. I've learned something. I thought, and so coming from the corporate world, I also know a lot, and so, but I didn't know much. I started learning other things. You know, this country and the world as well, the world over, if we learn to listen to each other, we could actually change this world. The reason that we are in conflict and so we have all these funny things is because we're not listening to each other. If we then listen attentively and listen to understand, we'd never be in conflict. This program has actually taught me quite a number of things. And I've learned, and I'm also using the skill that I got here outside of this program. And the other things that we've done quite a number of things, and so Ndumiso will actually talk about that. But the critical part about this, the teachers, and so Ndumiso in particular, he has this passion. He's this man, and so that when you look at him, and so when you talk to him, he loves what he's doing. And I mean, if you get into his office is also a storeroom. Everyone walks in, yes? Everyone walks in, wants to put a kettle on. Everyone comes in, wants milk, wants sugar, wants whatever. Everything's packed. And his office on the other side, there's 3 people sitting on top of each other. It is true. It is true. The one good thing is that they're going to be moved into a new building very soon. But it is taking time. It is taking time, and so, so some of the things also to change, so I actually also had to intervene and talk to some of the authorities. Do this, man, we can't have this. So we've worked together and so on then. And the other thing that I liked and so that I got from Ndumiso is this person that has got what we call integrity. Integrity is a critical part of a person. In this country, a number of people actually change what they said today. The coming week, next week, they change the story and actually try and improve the story on what they said last week. Because if we have got integrity, if we are honest, what you said today remains what we're saying next week. Still going to be the same thing that we'll say next year. And that's what actually Ndumiso has. He's got honesty, and he respects those people. And so, I mean, I've seen him actually working with those kids. He respects these little people. You know, it's little people, and so he respects them. He talks to them, and so with dignity, he treats them with dignity. Does not actually I mean, really, I found it actually, I find it amazing. And there's this little things about 7, 8 years old. He treats them so nice, and I would have spanked them. But the last thing and so is that after all these things, he's still accountable. He still actually looks and so at the last thing that these people must deliver, and the teachers, himself and everyone, they must deliver what is expected of them. The school is actually achieving its results. The school is actually doing quite a number of things very right, irrespective of where it is. And if it was somebody else, I don't think so they would actually survive. But to all the principals, you know, when we sit at the corporate world, we think, these guys are just plain lazy. Nobody else I've seen, and so what you're actually doing, guys. It's a tough job. It is a tough job. You must give yourself and so a round of applause. You are doing something very good. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Ndumi Somguni, the principal of Menzi Primary School, which is situated in the region of East Rand, in the township of Tsakane. And my business partner is Mandla Zwane from Nedbank South Africa. Maybe one would ask himself a question, why did I join the program? I joined the program because I had a number of challenges. I did not have problems, I only had challenges. I needed a partner who's having problems so that the two of us can come together and make South Africa go forward. Remember, as a school principal, I have challenges. A business partner is having problems. A challenge of how can I make future prospective employees employable. With the finances and the money that he is making, he's having a challenge of how can he fund a school that will be productive. Our school had many challenges. One of the challenges, you will notice right there on the edge. Must I say on the edge? Oh my goodness, what did I do now? Okay, let me just go back. There is a gentleman who's standing right there at the back. He's here, he's one of my line managers, Mr. Mkupuli. He was ensuring that teachers are teaching, children are getting the best. This is one of the challenges that we had at school, administrative challenges. The second challenge is that one of leadership. How do you teach when your classroom is hanging in the air? All what we required here, all what we needed is leadership skills. I'm just going to give a summary because our time is up. The second challenge, it was that one of management. How to manage a school when there is a caterpillar on top of the classroom. But we are able. In spite of all these challenges, we are able to do our best. What did we do together as partnership? We made it a point that we team up and we drive South Africa towards the river. Because without partnership, there is nowhere we can go. And without us working together, there is nothing that is going to happen in this country. Not only did we work together, we also had challenges. At times, we would look at one problem from different angles. He would call a 6 a 9, and I would call a 9 a 6. The only time both of us realized that a 6 was a 6, it was when we were standing on the same side. Whenever we stood on the same side, we would be able to see that this is a 9 and not a 6. I also learned that you can't start a program without resources. You can't start a project without resources. This is what I learned from the program, and this is what I learned from him. I also learned that I don't fit anywhere. I'm a man of integrity. as he has indicated. And I think I also have a little amount of pride. There are quite a number of things that I'll never do in life. Whatever I do, I always ask myself one question: what am I going to benefit? What are my team members going to benefit? What are the pupils at school going to benefit? That is why I don't just fit myself anywhere. I've learned from our partnership that I must not be scared. If I'm scared, I'm not going to drink water. If I'm scared, I'm not going to learn the skills of fishing. I will always say there's a lion. At times, some of the lions are just toothless. You just need to drink water next to them. They're not going to bite you. This is what I've learned from him. This is what I've learned from the program. I've learned that from PFP, this is what I've learned. That I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through God. In the Bible, those of us who are reading Bible, the book of Luke 1 verse 37, it talks about impossibilities. Remember, we are partners for possibilities. Anything that is impossible with man, it is possible with God. Therefore, I've learned that in this program. That is why today I am able to pick up an elephant. I'm able to do what is undoable. What is it that I'm taking away with me from this program? I can't take away with me jealousy. By blowing other people's opportunities and chances of success is not going to make me a better leader. You know, colleagues, I'm so proud to say to you that 3 of my colleagues are here with me. Anything that I say, anything that we do at school, today they are attesting to what I do at school. I work with a team. I would never wish anyone, you know, to see him or her failing. I always want to see people succeeding. Again, this is what I've learned from the program. I've learned that anything that I read, I must teach. Anything that I've gained, I must share with other people. PFP, thank you so much. I've also learned that if I can't solve a problem, because it doesn't mean that now that you are a member of PFP, you are going to solve all the problems. If you can't solve a problem, look at it, laugh about it, play with it, and do the latter. If you can't solve it, just look at it, smile about it, talk about it. I don't want to say oui, but do that if you realize that you are not going to solve it. But one day you are going to have you are going to team up with someone who's going to help you, so that you don't just do a toilet on top of a problem. I've learned from my partner that I must always knock at the correct door. If I knock at the right door, my pupils are going to benefit. I've learned the skill from PFP, I've learned the skill from my partner, and we are still able as a school, we are still going to do this, knocking at the different doors so that corporate South Africa can come into our school and take care of our pupils. What did I learn about myself? I must work very, very hard and in silence, and success is going to make the noise. This is so noble, eh? It's so noble. What did I learn about myself? I've learned that if I'm wearing a short dress, I mustn't bend. What do you think is going to happen? 2 things can happen, 3 things can happen, many things can happen. I can break my stiletto and fall, and people are going to laugh at me. I can bend and people can see my underwears. People are going to laugh at me. I can bend and my business partner, the one who's bending down, is not going to help me. If I have a problem, I'm supposed to shout. This is what I've learned from the program. And this is what I've learned about myself, that I must not just be a Superman. I don't know all the things. I need people like you. Corporate South Africa, we really need people like you. We need you. You might not give us money, but you can give us a little bit of ching-ching. That will transform our institutions. Remember, the whole program is all about partnership. I've learned that without a team, you will not get a correct answer. That little young man, he represents me. The guy who is a teacher represents the Department of Education. All those people behind the Department of Education are the team members. If I can't write the number 4, then I must show the sign. If I can't do it this way, there must be an alternative. This is what I've learned from the program. I've also learned that I must not think inside the box. If you look at all those numbers, you can't solve that problem. Because it's so painful to be a principal and a teacher in the Department of Education in South Africa, particularly in Gauteng. They give us the ATPs, annual teaching plans. They give us the tablets. They give us the cell phones. They give us almost everything. Your thinking is going to be limited to what is given to you. You can't think outside that box. No one can give me the correct answer for that for those empty boxes. But if you think outside the box, then you're going to realize that if you take that 15 and you subtract 5 inside the very same bracket, what are you going to get? 10. You put 10 in the first box. You take 13 minus 3, what are you going to get? The second 10. You put that one inside. Then you decide to be smart. You take 9, you add it together with 1, you get 10, 3 tens. Do you have 3 tens there? There are no tens. But if you think inside the box, you will think answers are supposed to come right inside the box. There are so many answers outside the box. Teachers, let's not rely on what is given to us. Let's talk to corporate South Africa. The best can still be done. This is what I've learned. I've learned self-control. I've learned to work with these people. This was my team. And to the class of 2016, 2017, our COP, I just want to say to you, thank you so much. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to change the rules. You have been clapping your hands. Now you're not going to clap your hands anymore. But you're going to, what do you call it, beating the drum roll. That's what you're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, sons and daughters of different parents, allow me to introduce to you David and Regina. Hey. Good. David, just an epitome of who these two partners are. I was so fortunate one day, the day when our COP was held at school, that myself and David had to do a presentation. A presentation, it was about how do you bring sanity where there is insanity? How do you bring order where there is chaos? We never had an opportunity of the two of us coming together planning for our presentation. But whatever we gave on that day, I said to myself, if there is one man that I would like to work with outside this PFP program, it's David. Regina, I'm not going to say anything about her. Remember cheese and remember a girl who's eating cheese. She is cheese girl. Very, very vocal, straight to the point, a focused woman, woman of integrity. One lady who you know, in Zulu, we have a saying that says, only ladies are capable of holding a knife on its edge without having their fingers cut. And I don't know how they do it. Ladies are multitask. They can do what women can't do. Like, for instance, we can't fall pregnant, and ladies can do that. we can't cook while having a child at the back, and ladies can do that. She's one of those ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce David and Regina. Cheese girl, over to you.